Swayamvaram അമ്പത് എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ കുറച്ചുപേർ ആഘോഷിക്കണം എന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കാനൊരു കാരണം I must explain why we decided to celebrate the 50 years of Swayamvaram, which is falling on November this year, 2022, is because, and I wanted it to be an IFK launch because this road which goes through this, your side, is the very same road which led to Swayamvaram in 1972. I am talking about Chitralakha days. I, as a student in Toronto, also climbed these steps of Tagore Theatre to come and visit or see the screenings of Chitralekha and Chalachitra. And I was talking with friends, if Adoor comes with his wife in his Fiat car, which means that film is a very serious film, because Adoor never leaves a serious film screening in this theatre at that time. So we will all say Adoor comes, means we have to see this film very seriously, because it's going to be a real good film. So that is the way, in a way, Adoor was a yardstick for a lot of us when we are growing up, what a good film needs to be or is to be. And with his films, he has shown all of us in Kerala, through the Film Society movement, his films, what a meaningful film is. And I say it in my introduction, not only what a good film is in terms of themes, in terms of storytelling, in terms of execution of the film, in terms of craft, all of which he sets the yardsticks of best films in Kerala, and others just followed it, I say. Not just that, he was telling us during the course of the interview that film those days, in 60s and early 70s, films, people seeing film was like going to a toddy shop or a bad place. They will come out, a little ashamed. I want to the film, people don't respect those film boys. He wanted to change it. He wanted to equate good films with good literature, good theatre. He himself was a theatre man before he went to the film institute. So what he did was align film as a medium, as an art, with the rest of the arts. That's a theme which we have adopted. That how he has done, how his vision of films, he has aligned through those vision, how he has aligned it with the rest of the arts. That's the most important aspect of, I'll say, Adoor's 50 years of creative life. And I'm very happy that Adoor, though he said it's very painful, very, very exciting to talk about each of the films, but he agreed. And maybe since he has seen us growing over the years by seeing films as a student, and then later writing about some of his films, attending each of his screenings, whether in Delhi or elsewhere, he thought that some of us understands what he is doing in the right perspective. Could be that is the reason he agreed to talk to us. And we are always grateful to learn from the master. It's like a master class for us in films, when we talk to him. And I'm sure you'll appreciate what you see in each of these episodes. Then we always try to bring in something which is new, something which others are not asking. So maybe we think we have the freedom to ask him because we grew up in our film vision about films through his films and his interventions. So before we start, we have a small 3-minute video to just to showcase what is in store for you. After all the speeches and ministers' inauguration, we will try to show you one documentary. It was one episode of English version of this thing. Sorry. One second. The videos always keep trouble, And we have loaded it on YouTube, Swayamvaram at 50. You can search from 415 onwards, it is there. Kerala, the province in southern Indian peninsula. A journey which has been hailed by the world of meaningful films with many prestigious international and national honors.
സ്വയംവരം എന്ന ചിത്രത്തിലൂടെ അദ്ദേഹം മലയാള സിനിമയിൽ അരങ്ങേറ്റം കുറിച്ചു. ഒരു നവീന ഭാഗവതത്തിൻ്റെ തുടക്കമായിരുന്നു.
Swayamvaram is actually happening against the background of terrible unemployment of the educated. So the youth was frustrated. There were no opportunities. It was really bad.
സ്വയംവരമെന്നുള്ള നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യം ഈ സമൂഹത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഒറ്റപ്പെട്ട മനുഷ്യരെയാണ് ഒറ്റപ്പെട്ടാണ് തോന്നാൻ കാരണം നമ്മൾ ആരെയും അങ്ങനെ സൂക്ഷിച്ച് കാണിക്കില്ല. ഇപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ശീലം.
Deeply rooted and embedded with the people of Kerala. There is various struggles with changing realities of society, politics, psychology, concepts of life, and even human greed. In this 15-part series, you will see Adoor speaking on each of his films, his inspirations, concerns, and issues which he raised through these films. Welcome to the creative world of Adoor Gopalakrishan. I hope you should have seen what is in store for you in our video series, where not only Adoor's words, but you'll get a feel of what's the film, what's the music. Also some of the information we have tried to load, which is what's the awards, which are the festivals which has gone. Well, we try to also give a historic perspective of the film when it was placed. Like, for instance, very few people know that Swayamvaram is one film which was funded by Film Finance Corporation, and partially loan. Yeah, it was a loan, yes, loan with 18% interest by Film Finance Corporation, and Chitralekha had the unique privilege of paying back the loan fully, and told no other new wave filmmaker could do that, because what Adoor and his colleagues did in promoting a new film culture in Kerala. The result is for us to see how 10,000 people assemble in Trivandrum yearly to see good films. Now, I will request Sri M.F. Thomas, who has been Chitralekha's General Secretary in the 70s, and has contributed with his not only organization skills but also in writing about the new film culture of Kerala. I'll request him to say a few words. Before that, I want to show, it's not because my book, the first film literature, serious film literature in Kerala, in Malayalam, was also a contribution of Chitralekha Film Society in '65. The cover of this book is the cover of that brochure or the booklet which Adoor and friends in Chitralekha Film Society bought in '65 with articles of people including, I think, Hrithik, Khatak and other filmmakers across India and the world. So that's the kind of historic perspective we want to give to this Film Society movement in Kerala, and also to the contributions of Chitralekha and Adoor Gopalakrishan, and also people like M.M. Thomas, Kulathur Bhaskar Nair, all of them. And let me also add that it was Chitralekha who first installed a 35mm film projector in Tagore Theatre. Tagore Theatre was made as a theatre for theatre purpose, not for film purpose. But today it is known for films, thanks to Adoor and Chitralekha Film Cooperative and Film Society. Sri M.F. Thomas.
ആദരണീയരായ വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെ, പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്ന കാലത്ത് ഏറ്റവും ശക്തമായ മാധ്യമത്തിലൂടെ, ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്ന കാലത്തെ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ചലച്ചിത്രകാരനെ അടയാളപ്പെടുത്താനുള്ള ആത്മാർത്ഥമായ ഒരു ശ്രമമാണ്. അടൂർ ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണനെ ജീവന തുല്യം സ്നേഹിക്കുകയും ആദരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ചലച്ചിത്ര വിചാരക്കാരനായ ഒരു ഡൽഹി പത്രപ്രവർത്തകൻ്റെ ശക്തവും അതിമനോഹരവും ആഴത്തിലുമുള്ള ഈ ശ്രമം മലയാളികൾക്കാകമാനം അഭിമാനിക്കത്തക്കതാണ്. മഹാനായ കലാകാരന് ഒരു സ്നേഹോപകാരം. ഞാൻ ജീവിക്കുന്ന കാലത്തെ പുതിയ തലമുറയ്ക്കും വരുവാനിരിക്കുന്ന തലമുറകൾക്കും ലോകത്തെങ്ങുമുള്ള ചലച്ചിത്ര കുതുകികൾക്കും ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലുള്ള ഈ കലാസൃഷ്ടി ഉപകരിക്കാതിരിക്കില്ല, തീർച്ചയായും. ഇതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ എൻ്റെ ആത്മസുഹൃത്ത് ശ്രീ K.N. ഷാജി മലയാളത്തിൽ നിർമ്മിച്ച അടൂരിനെ പറ്റി തന്നെയുള്ള വീഡിയോയും പുറത്തിറങ്ങുകയാണ്. ശ്രീ K.N. ഷാജിയെ വർഷങ്ങളായി ഞാൻ കാണുന്നത് വളരെ നിശ്ചിതമായിട്ട്, വളരെ കൃത്യതയോടുകൂടി, മലയാളത്തിൻ്റെ തനിമയോടുകൂടി എഴുതുകയും ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ആക്ടിവിസ്റ്റായാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. മലയാളത്തിൽ ആ വളരെ പ്രയാസപ്പെട്ട ജോലി ഏറ്റെടുത്തതിലും എനിക്ക് മലയാളി എന്നുള്ള നിലയിലും സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. തീർച്ചയായും ഇത് വളരെ വിലപ്പെട്ട ഒരു നിമിഷമാണ് എന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു. കാരണം ലോകം മുഴുവൻ ഈ മഹാനായ മലയാളത്തിൻ്റെ കലാകാരനെ അടയാളപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ എനിക്കും പങ്കാളിയാകാൻ നിങ്ങളെപ്പോലെ തന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞു സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
അടൂരുമായി സഹകരിച്ച രണ്ട് സിനിമാ പ്രവർത്തകർ or Madhurne, the Gopalakrishan Swayamvaram, Sri Girish Kasaravalli, he is here. I wanted him to speak, but he said, show my documentary, because I can't show it just like that, so I can't do that, but I'm happy that he's here and sitting with us and hearing this. That's a great honor for all of us who are part of the good film movement. And Sunny Joseph was also worked with Adoor, and I will make my old friend to come and say a few words. Please, Sunny, you have to.
Dear Adoor sir, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ ഇതിൻ്റെ സന്തോഷം പങ്കുവയ്ക്കാൻ വന്നതാണ്, വർത്തമാനം പറയാൻ വന്നതല്ല. In any case, since Cherian is my old friend and he called me, and I just wanted to say something, because one of the newspapers asked me to give a little note on Swayamvaram's cinematography, and I was looking at the film again, and I was very surprised that the way the film is structured and the rhythm of the film was actually much faster than probably at that time's mainstream cinema, and it was a big surprise for me. And because those days there was always a saying that the alternate cinema is like very slow and all that. It was not like that, and the editing was really very remarkable for the time. And of course, Adoor sir has been among us, giving us his precious works throughout his life, and I have been lucky to work with him also. I hope I do work again. So thank you, Cherian, for this, and thank you all.
Thank you, Sunny. And can I say that Meera Sahib has been associated with Adoor from, I think, the second film onwards, no, sir? Meera Sahib from second film, when I saw the still with Koreator, wants to be here. But his brother-in-law had died in an accident, so he has gone, he had to go there suddenly. We miss him, and we join in the family's sorrow. Also, Shashi Tharoor, the Trivandrum MP, was very keen to be here, but since Parliament is there, he sent his good wishes. So was Kerala's former cultural minister, Mr. M.A. Levy, who is a Politburo member of CPM. Because there is central committee happening in Delhi, he couldn't be here. And we were very clear that it must be, this launch has to be in Tagore Theatre, where Adoor and his friends started the new film culture of Kerala. So that is why we thought IFK forum is the right forum to start or announce and launch this project. And we are all thankful to Dr. Shashi Tharoor and M.A. Reddy for their wishes. And I will now request Adoor to say a few words.
Dear friends, I don't know what to say. Swayamvaram did not happen. Is it okay? Actually, Swayamvaram did not happen in just like happening, without your knowledge something happens. It's not like that. It took long 7 years to make my first film. After passing out of the institute, that means you have all the equipment to make films. You are fully equipped, endowed, with all the knowledge about world cinema and all that. But nobody bothered. At that time, myself and Bhaskar and I, we together approached a few people who had already produced films. They were not for with the important producers. They did not show any interest. They did not believe that cinema can be learned, academically. This is what some of them were saying. You have to be an assistant to somebody. So if you are lucky, by the time you are about past 50 or so, when you are almost nearing your Satyabda Murti, that is, when you are nearing 60 or so. This was the practice in Bollywood also. So there were no young filmmakers in Bollywood, because they had to produce under somebody almost for a lifetime. Your youth is spent in assisting somebody. And finally, when you are lucky and if you are that kind of initiative, you may make a film. If it works, it does. Otherwise, it is gone. So that you still the practice here also. So somebody makes a film. If it fails in the box office, then he is out. If he succeeds, then many offers come to him. So in my case, nothing happened. He contacted a couple of people and nothing happened. My good friend Cherian was telling us about NFDC, the Film Finance Corporation funding. No funding. It was a loan. The total budget of the film was 2.5 lakhs. And the loan amount given was 1,50,000 rupees. And we had to raise our own funds to produce the film. Then they were all right with these things. Then they said, no, we cannot give a loan to a society. Because ours was a cooperative society. It was unheard of before. For a cooperative society to be producing films, it was unheard of before. No precedent. So that who will be answerable? Who will repay our money? So the confusion went on for some time, and I told them, look, I am the one responsible. I guarantee that money will be given back. So they had to be persuaded a lot to come to that. So finally they agreed. That's how by that time we had done some films on contract from the state government. Little money here and there, we raised our own 1 lakh and then did that film. So 2.5 lakhs was a big budget in 1971-72. So it was almost like the budget for a regular commercial film. And we went about it like a commercial film, giving the same kind of publicity that is due for each of those films. We had the Madhu and Sharda. At that time they were at the very top, they were real stars, both of them. And a few more artists from the field. And also total newcomers also. Some of them were from theatre, some of them were my close friends. So that's how it started. And when the film was released, all the most of the cinema owners, theatre owners, they telephoned us saying that if only you had a couple of songs in it, at least 6 songs, it would have done wonderful, because Madhu is there, Sharda is there, you had opportunities to show it. Then another thing was, in those days there was one comedian, very talented, Adoor Gopalakrishan. So how come you made a film without him? These were the questions asked. So in most of the cinemas, the film stopped playing. And everybody wrote the obituary for our institution. They said, this is finished. These young people, they have made all this film and finished. They are finished. But what happened was the national award came later. So it was absolutely unprecedented that there was one national best award given to Malayalam at that time. That was for Chennai. That award was only for this film, general total one film. Whereas this film was given best film award, best director, best actress, best cinematography, all those 4 awards. So that was unprecedented, almost unprecedented, to my knowledge. So it made real big news in Kerala. So since we did not have even a distributor at that time, we had to take the film ourselves through some distributors, some representatives and all that we had to arrange. So we said, why not we release it now? Because we had the headlines in all the newspapers in Kerala. Almost everybody reads it. Newspaper in Kerala, that's the best way in those days to reach an audience. So we re-released the film. you wouldn't believe it was a super hit with every show full for 2 months, 3 months, I think we went on. So by the end of the second month, we repaid our loan. That is the first time ever the so-called development, the parents corporation got their money back. No, so that's what we got established with that. So this is what a national award would do to a film. This was the purpose. A film which would have gone unnoticed otherwise. It was picked out of the anonymous situation and then brought to the notice of everybody. Today, if you belong to a particular party, particularly political party is ruling it, you will get an award for the most credible film you have made. It goes without saying. There are, even in Kerala, there are people who are making films in Sanskrit. I don't know for whom they are making it. They are making it for themselves because you will get an award for Sanskrit language. So that is the only purpose of making that film. People are interested and then you can go about saying that I got a national award. It's the idea. So it is, the institution of the award has been brought down to the very ground level. It is no more prestigious to win a national award. Unfortunately, this is how it has happened. So Swayamvaram was a great example of how a national recognition can really bring a particular film and a group of people to focus. That's how I got the confidence to carry on. Otherwise, I used to tell people, look, I know 2 jobs other than filmmaking. One is typewriting. I'm a good typist. And then second is driving. So tragedy is nobody will engage me as a typist, nor as a driver. So that 2 known professions I cannot practice. What am I left with? Making film is nothing else. So my good friends Cherian and my good friend Shadi thought of making me talk. If I am tired of talking in English, then Shadi will start with me on Malayalam. So when you are fed up with Malayalam, you go back to English. This is how we have recorded it. So I told them at the beginning itself, look, it can be very exhausting. It's the last thing I want to do about talking about my film, talking about myself, etc. I can talk about the struggle I had gone through, like I did now. And for hours I can talk about it, but not justifying what I did or instead of things I gained, etc. It's very boring for myself, for listeners also. So, but this is a labor of love and dedication by Syria, supported by our friend Shadi. I wish them very well because this is something very unprecedented. There have been several interviews that I have done with people, but that's a difference. They don't think about what would be the outcome, etc. They are doing it out of sheer love, and I respect that. Thank you very much.
I'm sure everybody knows Girish Kasaravalli. I don't need to introduce him. And he's the one who made a film tribute, a documentary tribute to Adoor Gopalakrishan. And
thank you, Cherian. Good afternoon, friends. When Cherian asked me to be on the dais, I said, if at all you want to hear my impression of Adoor's film, then I made a documentary. Please watch it. Because that is what I wanted to say. All that I wanted to say about Adoor and Adoor's woes, I have put it in that film. I'm very happy that such a program is being organized by Cherian and others about the contribution of Adoor Gopalakrishan to Malayalam cinema and to world cinema in particular. In cinematic terms, so we use 2 terms. You know, there are 2 kinds of directors we very often say. One is a filmmaker. You give him any subject, you give him anything, he is ready to make. All that he wants to do is a film. So you give him a comedy, he would do it. You give him a fighting film, he would do it. He give him a serious film, he would do it. But there is another kind of filmmaker who are called auteurs. Auteurs are those filmmakers who are not interested in telling the story, who are interested in giving an insight into our mind. It's a kind of a worldview which they believe in, the politics which they believe in, the idea, the perspective they believe in. And Adoor Gopalakrishan is the real auteur of Indian cinema to come. There are major filmmakers before him, but then most of them would switch their genre, would switch their kinds of filmmaking, and even for example Satyajit Roy would make Patra Panchali and immediately come out with Paris Pattar, and then would go to Chiriya Khana and things like that. Because there was a compulsion on him to make one film a year. But Adoor Gopalakrishan didn't have that compulsion. He was very loyal to his vision and went on making films which propagated his vision, his outlook towards life, and that's why he is the real auteur in Indian cinema. So this gives us a very good opportunity to understand how his thought process continues from film to film, from Swayamvaram till Pinnuyum. In fact, one can, if you see the film once again, you will see some of the ideas which later became the central focus of his films were the germs of it can be seen in Swayamvaram itself. One such thing is the dual reality that exists in our life. He tackled that in Swayamvaram, which later he elaborated in films like Anantaram and other things. So it will be a very useful and a fascinating exercise if one looks at his films as one body, not as individual films. That's how we understand the auteur. And what Cherian is doing that way is a very great contribution. He is looking at all films made by Adoor from different perspective, and it gives us an opportunity to see his vision and his not just the story but the vision. One has to go beyond the story to understand the vision of the filmmaker, and this effort gives that opportunity. So I really thank you for giving us this opportunity. I congratulate Adoor Gopalakrishan for completing 50 years in Indian filmmaking, and for the organizers for organizing this event. Thank you.
I can say the same about Adoor's films. Certain things which is very common in Malayalam culture, in Kerala's culture, he takes off on that. He uses to convey his vision of life, his society, philosophy, and all. So that's something which I think people are not really grasped deeply. And I'm sure our effort is to make people who understand good films think in those times and look at Adoor at the 50 years. When we told him about 50 years, Shadi asked him that 50 years, how do you feel? He said, I never thought I would live 50 years to see this day and that time. So that is Adoor for you. Maybe a lot of things are accidental, but he is a deliberate person. He's as he says, one of the things in film, that by the time he was making Swayamvaram, he knew what was the film, what does he want to say. He's not beating around the bush. So when you see an Adoor film, you have to see each of his characters. For instance, I asked him in Adoor, in Swayamvaram, the journey, you'll be surprised, the bus is full of Chitralekha society people and their family. It's not ordinary extra characters. It was Chitralekha Film Society people and their family is traveling that bus, inaugural, the first bus journey in that film. So that's the kind of things which Adoor does in his film. And also, if you see the first part of Swayamvaram, anybody who reads the film language can make out in that honeymoon sequence, he has already said what is in store for you as a story. But he gives all the hints. And when I asked him, he said, yes, I said it 3 times to buttress the point that this is going to be the story. So now you see how I execute it. So that's the beauty of art, and Adoor from Swayamvaram onwards, he has been excelling in that. And now that the minister's phone is not available, I'll invite everybody to see the first part of this series in English for your benefit. We have both of this, all the 3 episodes. The initial one which you saw, the English part talking only about Swayamvaram, and also the Malayalam version where Shaji started with Swayamvaram. All are loaded on YouTube with the handle Swayamvaram 50, and it is live from 4:15 onwards. You can see it in your mobile phones if you like. And just for record purpose, I will request the video to be played now. But before that, let me ask my friend Shaji to thank all of you for being here, and also Adoor and Girish ji for his presence. Shaji.
പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, മലയാളിയുടെ അഭിമാനമായ ഒരുപക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെയൊക്കെ സ്വകാര്യ അഹങ്കാരമായ അടൂരിൻ്റെ ചലച്ചിത്ര യാത്രയുടെ സുവർണ ജൂബിലി ആഘോഷിക്കുന്ന ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ അദ്ദേഹവുമായി ഞാനും വി.കെ. ചെറിയാനും നടത്തിയ സുദീർഘമായ സംഭാഷണത്തിൻ്റെ വീഡിയോ രൂപമാണ് ഇന്നിവിടെ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ടത്. അത് വാസ്തവത്തിൽ ഒരു മന്ത്രിയെ കൊണ്ട് ചെയ്യിക്കാമെന്നാണ് പദ്ധതിയിട്ടിരുന്നെങ്കിലും വളരെ യാദൃശ്യമായി അതിൻ്റെ യഥാർത്ഥത്തിലുള്ള ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ പൂർവ്വനിശ്ചിതമാണ് നമ്മൾ പറയാറുള്ളത് പോലെ നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഗിരീഷ് കാസർവള്ളി നിർവഹിക്കുന്നത് എനിക്ക് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് സന്തോഷം പറഞ്ഞു. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഗിരീഷ് കാസർവള്ളിയോട് എൻ്റെ നിങ്ങളോടൊപ്പമുള്ള സന്തോഷം അന്യമായ പ്രവൃത്തിയാണ്. അതൊരു നേരത്തെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ അദ്ദേഹം എൻ്റെയും ചെറിയൻ്റെയും ചോദ്യങ്ങൾക്ക് മലയാളത്തിലും ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലും മാറി മാറി ഉത്തരം പറയുകയുണ്ടായി. 2 ദിവസം നീണ്ടുനിന്ന സംഭാഷണമായിരുന്നു. അത് ഇനി തുറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ക്ഷമ അപാരമാണ്. ആ ക്ഷമയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പിൽ ഞാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ക്ഷമ ചോദിക്കുന്നു. ഏതായാലും അദ്ദേഹം ഇതുവരെ പറയാത്ത ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ, അത് സാധാരണ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിലൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ചില സാമ്പ്രദായികമായ ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കും, മറുപടികൾ കിട്ടും. പക്ഷെ ഇത് വളരെ വളരെ ഇൻറ്റിമേറ്റായിട്ടുള്ള വളരെ സൗഹൃദപൂർണമായ ചോദ്യങ്ങളും അതനുസരിച്ചുള്ള ഉത്തരങ്ങളും ആണ് ലഭിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതെനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ 50 വർഷത്തെ ജീവിതത്തിലുള്ള അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സിനിമാ ദർശനങ്ങൾ, ജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള കാഴ്ചപ്പാടുകൾ, അനുഭവങ്ങൾ, നേരത്തെ അദ്ദേഹം സൂചിപ്പിച്ച 1965 ഫിലിം ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിൽ പഠനം കഴിഞ്ഞ് പുറത്തിറങ്ങിയ അദ്ദേഹം 72 വരെ ഉള്ള കാലം ഈ സിനിമയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള തയ്യാറെടുപ്പുകളിൽ ഏർപ്പെട്ട ആ സാഹസമായ ജീവിതവും ഒക്കെ ഈ സംഭാഷണങ്ങളിൽ ഒരിക്കലും വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒരു പക്ഷേ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ പറയുന്നത് സാങ്കേതികമായ അർത്ഥത്തിൽ 50 വർഷം എന്നത് 72 മുതലുള്ള കണക്കുകൂട്ടലാണ്. വാസ്തവത്തിൽ 65 മുതൽ കണക്കുകൂട്ടണമെന്നാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. അത്തരത്തിൽ മലയാള സിനിമയ്ക്ക് ഒരു നവീന ഭാവുകത്വം നൽകുന്നതിൽ അടൂരിൻ്റെ സംഭാവനകൾ വിലയിരുത്തപ്പെടണമെന്ന് ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ മലയാളിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് വളരെ പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യമാണ്. കാരണം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സിനിമ കാണാനുള്ളൊരു സംസ്കാരം രൂപപ്പെടുത്തുവാൻ വേണ്ടി 65 തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹം ചിത്രലേഖ ഫിലിം സൊസൈറ്റിയുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുകയും ഈ പുതിയ സിനിമാവബോധം മലയാളികൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുകയും ആ സിനിമ കാണാനുള്ള കാഴ്ചക്കാരുണ്ടാക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രത്യേകത. അദ്ദേഹം ഒരു സമ്പൂർണ്ണ കലാകാരൻ. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കഥാപാത്രങ്ങൾ, അവർ വന്ന വഴികൾ, അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രമേയങ്ങൾ, ഓരോ സിനിമകളിലും ഒന്നിനൊന്ന് വ്യത്യസ്തമായി എന്നുള്ളത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ നിഷ്കർഷ. ആദ്യത്തെ സിനിമ മുതൽ, അദ്ദേഹം തിരഞ്ഞെടുത്ത പ്രമേയം മുതൽ, അദ്ദേഹം തിരഞ്ഞെടുത്ത പേര് മുതൽ, ഒരുപക്ഷെ സ്വയംവരം എന്ന പേര് മുതൽ ആരംഭിക്കുന്ന അതിൽ വ്യത്യസ്തത അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അവസാന സിനിമ വരെ അദ്ദേഹം പുലർത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇനിയും അദ്ദേഹത്തെ കാത്ത്, നമ്മളെ കാത്ത് എത്രയോ ചിത്രങ്ങൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സൃഷ്ടിയിൽ ആയി ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന പ്രതീക്ഷയോടെ ഈ സന്ദർഭത്തിൽ ഇവിടെ വരികയും ഈ വേദി പങ്കെടുക്കുകയും അദ്ദേഹത്തിനും എൻ്റെ വളരെ അഭിവന്ദ്യനായ ജ്യേഷ്ഠ സുഹൃത്ത് തോമസിനും ഇതിവിടെ ലോഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത കാസർഗോഡ് ഇവിടെ കൂടിയ നിങ്ങൾ ഓരോരുത്തരോടുമുള്ള കൃതജ്ഞതയും നന്ദിയും രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നിർത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി നന്ദി.
എല്ലാവർക്കും ഫൈനൽ ക്ലോസിംഗ് സെറമണിയിൽ പോകണമെന്നുണ്ട്, എനിക്കറിയാം. പക്ഷേ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇത് റിക്കാർഡിന് വേണ്ടി ഇവിടെ പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാണ്. അരോത്സവം ഇവിടെ പരമാവധി 25 മിനിറ്റും കൂടെ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും ഇത് കാണാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞങ്ങൾ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. വെൽക്കം ടു സീ ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡ് ഫോർ 25 minutes. And otherwise you can always see it on YouTube. It's there loaded already. For 15 onwards, it's in English and Malayalam. It's there. You can see that also. In case if you think you are in a busy mode. Thank you.
കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ മധ്യഭാഗത്തുള്ള ഓണാട്ടുകരയിലെ ഒരു ചെറിയ ടൗണായ അടൂരിന് ലോകഭൂപടത്തിൽ ഒരു മേൽവിലാസം തന്ന സിനിമാ രചനയിലൂടെ എല്ലാമായി മാറിയ അടൂർ ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണൻ സാറിൻ്റെ സർഗജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ 50ാം വാർഷികാഘോഷമാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ പങ്കുചേരുന്നതിൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അഭിമാനമുണ്ട്. അടൂർ സാറിൻ്റെ സർഗജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ 50ാം വാർഷികം മലയാള സിനിമയുടെ അഭൂതപൂർവമായ വളർച്ചയുടെ ചരിത്രം കൂടിയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹവും കൂട്ടരും തുടങ്ങിവെച്ച ഫിലിം സൊസൈറ്റി പ്രസ്ഥാനം ഇന്ന് വളർന്നു പന്തലിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. സിനിമാ പ്രവർത്തകൻ എന്ന നിലയിൽ മാത്രമല്ല, സാംസ്കാരിക നായകൻ എന്ന നിലയിലും തൻ്റെ സ്വതന്ത്രവും പുരോഗമനപരമായ സാമൂഹ്യ വീക്ഷണം വഴി അദ്ദേഹം കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ നവോത്ഥാന മൂല്യങ്ങൾ ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാകണം അദ്ദേഹം സാമ്പ്രദായിക ശക്തികളുടെയും മറ്റ് പ്രതിലോമ സംഘടനകളുടെയും നിരന്തര ആക്രമണത്തിന് വിധേയരാകുന്നത്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ സ്വയംവരം കേരളത്തിൽ നിർമ്മിച്ച, അത് പ്രദർശിപ്പിച്ച 50ാമത് വർഷത്തിൽ മലയാളത്തിൻ്റെ സിനിമാ രംഗത്തിൻ്റെ അഭിമാനമായ അടൂർ ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണൻ സാറിനെ ഈ ചടങ്ങിൽ KN ബാലഗോപാൽ ആദരിക്കും. ഞാൻ അതിനുവേണ്ടി സാറിനെ വളരെ ആദരപൂർവ്വം ഈ വേദിയിലേക്ക് ക്ഷണിക്കുകയാണ്. നിങ്ങൾക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് അധ്യക്ഷ പ്രസംഗം അവസാനിപ്പിക്കും.
മലയാളത്തിലെ നവതരംഗ സിനിമയ്ക്ക് തുടക്കം കുറിച്ച ക്ലാസിക് ചിത്രമായിരുന്നു സ്വയംവരം. സ്വയംവരത്തിൻ്റെ 50ാം വാർഷികമാണ് 2022. ഈ ആഘോഷത്തിൽ, ഈ വേദിയിൽ മലയാളത്തിൻ്റെ എക്കാലത്തെയും ഏറ്റവും വലിയ അഭിമാനമായ നമ്മുടെ ചലച്ചിത്രകാരൻ ശ്രീ അടൂർ ഗോപാലകൃഷ്ണനെ ഈ വേദിയിൽ ആദരിക്കാനാകുന്നതിൽ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ചാരിതാർത്ഥ്യമാണ് ചലച്ചിത്ര അക്കാദമിക്കുള്ളത്. Shri Adoor Gopalakrishan, celebrating 50 years of Swayamvaram.